excited about this one. It's been a while. Facebook kicked me off of live videos for a while. Hi everyone, my name is Brianna, and I am a soul coach for badass magical leaders, aka I'm a witch, and I work with magical people who are ready to get real in their life. And I'm so excited to have you all joining me. There are some people coming on now. Monica, it's good to see you. Tom, it's good to see you. I'm holding my phone, so if it's jarring around, please excuse me. I'm going to wait just a few moments for people to come on, but I'm really excited to dive deeper into this topic because this is a subject that I talk about a lot with people who I'm working with one-on-one, and I talk about in my groups when I'm doing deeper transformational experiences with people, diving deep into sacred ceremony. This is a huge topic. How do we protect ourselves? How do we as empaths, people who feel other people deeply, how do we as magical people, those who take on other people's emotions, how do we step out of having other people's experiences? Can't announce it officially. Okay, there we go. So tonight I want to talk to you about how to protect yourself. Now, it is so vital. All of us who are in the transformational world, in the spiritual community, in the yoga world, in the meditation world, in the power of now world, anyone who's intent on working on themselves, the first thing that we learn in this journey is how to open ourselves, right? Is how to get more sensitive, how to resensitize ourselves, how to feel life again. And that's so vital. That's so important. It's such an important step on our journey. It's so good to see you all. I love seeing you people here. So please say hi. Hi, Monica. It's good to see you. I know it's exciting on live, right? So please say hi as you join on. And it's so important on this spiritual journey to learn how to open ourselves, right? To really expose ourselves, to get us back into that place. Because for so many years, I'll just speak for myself. When I first started on my spiritual journey, it was really about opening myself because for so long I'd shut myself down. I'd closed myself off. It was so exciting to give myself permission to feel again, to feel how sensitive I am, to feel how much I love people, to really let people back into my life, right? So it was really exciting. Wacky. So it was really exciting to be in a space where I felt like I could open myself fully again. Let me see some likes if you know what I'm talking about. Being in your spiritual practice, being on your spiritual journey, and giving yourself full permission to open up again, right? And to really connect with people in a deep and intimate way. It was so powerful to start to develop practices using my yoga, using my breath, using my voice, to connect intimately with people, to have that vulnerability again, right? And so it was so... It's kind of noisy. Laugh out loud. It might be my hair. Is that better, Zoe? Let me know if it's still noisy. So the power of diving deep into opening myself, taking my masks off, was step number one in my spiritual journey, in my awakening journey, in my soul awakening journey, was how to open myself back up again, how to take my masks off, how to be vulnerable once again. Now, once I realized that that was possible, what I noticed about my reality was that I was being so exposed, that my empathy was so online, that my powers of perception, thank you, Zoe, for letting me know about the sound. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. My powers of perception were so activated that I would go into a situation and I started taking on other people's stuff. Like I started feeling other people's stuff. And this is why, as a child, I started to shut my shit down. Why I started to shut my empathy off. Why I started to shut my sensitivity off was because I started taking on other people's stuff. I would get physically ill by the experience of being around other people in a negative space. Can I get a hands up or some likes? Does anyone else have that experience? You're so open, you're so empathetic that you start taking on other people's stuff. I got to a point in my spiritual journey that I would get anxiety just thinking about going to the grocery store. Anyone have that experience? Let me get some likes. You know what I'm saying? Tag someone that you know who's had this experience. You start to get anxiety thinking about going to places with large groups of people. You're so open on your spiritual path. You've taken off so many masks that you start to feel other people's experiences as though they were your own. You know what I'm saying? And it's powerful. It's what makes us able to do some of this work. You know, as a soul coach, it's important that I can feel my students' experience. It's important that I can feel in a large group of people, when I'm speaking to a large group of people, if my words, if my spells are actually landing. It is a gift. But the challenge is, how the fuck do I function in the world when I'm feeling, when I'm digesting everyone else's experience? Anyone else know what I'm talking about? Can I get amen? Can I get a what's up? Can I get a so it is? You know what I'm saying? So today I want to talk about how the fuck do we protect ourselves? How do we have these big open hearts? The truth of who we are, the vulnerability, our power as coaches, as healers, as artists, as people who are living open-heartedly. How do we live open-heartedly but have some big fucking boundaries? And I just had a phone conversation with a dear sister of mine who asked me this very question. You know, she and I sat in a ceremony, and she was a student in the space, a participant in the space that I was leading, and she contacted me and said, you know what, I'm having a really fucking hard time really diving deep into staying open, but not having all this other shit come into my field. Yes? You know what I'm talking about? All right. So, step number one. It's a very powerful spell, and especially to the women, I want to teach this to you. So I want you to listen really closely. Step number one in learning how to protect yourself. It's a very, very important one. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? It's so powerful, it's going to blow your mind, and it's so simple, you're never going to believe it's true. You ready? No. No. You learn how to use the word no to people. If it's not a holy yes, W-H-O-L-Y, and H-O-L-Y, you say no. Whether it's someone, a man who's interacting with you in your space and he's giving you just a little bit of that subtle energy, you need to walk the fuck away if you don't feel matched with that energy. Because you listening to that person in the moment when their energy is not matched with yours is contributing to that frequency. You say no by removing yourself from that fucking situation. The best way to protect yourself is to learn how to use the spell of no. I'm speaking specifically to the women, but this applies to men and others too. But specifically for the women, we are taught to be nice. We are taught to be sweet. We are taught not to hurt anybody's feelings, because if we hurt somebody's feelings, they might get mad at us. But ladies, how many of you are feeling anxiety? How many of you are feeling overwhelmed? How many of you are feeling other people's emotions because you are using your superpower of your attention to people that you actually don't give a fuck about? If you're overwhelmed, if you're tired, if you're run down, it's because you have not learned the spell of no. Practice it today. If it is not a holy yes, it's a fuck no. If it is not H-O-L-Y, part of your sacred path, if it's not W-H-O-L-Y, yes, in every essence of your being, it is a fuck no. I'm just going to let that one land for a second. It is the number one spell, my witches, my sisters, my brothers, my others, that you can learn in this lifetime. If it is not aligned with what you want to create more of in the world, then you need to say no to that moment. Let's talk about superpowers for a moment. Our superpowers as human beings are multiple, but I want to just talk about three really quickly. Number one is attention. Number two is intention. Number three is imagination. What about at work? I'm going to talk about that in just a second, Zoe. Number one, attention. Your superpower of attention is so valuable that if you're giving your attention to someone that you do not want to give your attention to, you are becoming a martyr. And you are allowing someone to take your energy. Let me rephrase. You are giving your power away by giving attention to something that you do not want to see more of on the planet. If you are listening to something that you do not want to see more of on the planet, you are contributing to making it happen. You can walk the fuck away. What about at work, Zoe? Guess what? You're not a slave. You're not. No one's holding a gun to your head. You can walk the fuck away. You can find ways to say, wow, what you're saying right now isn't landing for me. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Or do you know what? I'm just going to excuse myself. You can do a range of things. Your attention is your number one superpower. What are you using that for? What are you creating more of in your life? What are you giving attention to right now that you actually don't want to see more of on the planet? Tell me in the comment box below. Take responsibility for it right now. What are you giving your attention to that you're, I wish this didn't exist in my life right now? Guess what? You are creating more of it by giving away your superpower to it. That's your responsibility. You're creating more of it. You're creating more of it in your life. By giving your power away, by giving your attention to it. Right? Let's talk about superpower number 2, intention. What is your intention by listening to this person? If you are not approving, if you're not in the vibrational match, that's what approving means. If you're not in a vibrational match with what is being delivered to you and you're giving your attention to it, that means your intention for your life is not fucking strong enough. You don't have a big enough reason to be here. You need to check your vision for your life. I am an honest, outrageous, magical leader. What are you? Because if you are giving your attention to something that you don't want to be giving your attention to, that means your intention for your life is not strong enough. If you're in a job that you actually don't want to be in, it means your intention for your life is not strong enough. That's all. And you can argue with me all you want about money and needs and all of that. I get it. I've been there. And I have a lot of empathy and compassion for you. But I don't have one iota of play for the guilt game that you're putting on yourself. I don't have any space for the self-pity that you're causing. Your intention needs to be bigger so that the attention of what you're creating is to magnify the frequency of what's coming at you. Anything that comes your way should be a holy yes. And if it's not, then it's a fuck no. Intention is number 2. What's number 3? Imagination, your visualization, your ability to dream, your ability to see something bigger for yourself and the person in front of you. If you're putting attention on something that you actually don't want to be putting your attention on, you can get really creative. You can use your imagination and ask them to dream the fuck bigger. That's another way to amplify your attention. If you have to be in a scenario where you're listening to something and you don't want to be creating more of that frequency in the world, you as a powerful being, you as the sorceress, you are the source. You are not, don't worry about resource. The only reason you're worrying about resource is because you haven't fully claimed that you are source. Become the sorceress of your life and you won't have to worry about resource, right? We don't want to be anything. I don't want to be reused or recycled, so don't be resourced. Become source of your life. You are source of your life as I am source of my life. So the best way to activate the most powerful attention is to use your imagination in the moment to activate the conversation even more. Yes? Those are the 3 superpowers. Attention, intention, and imagination. Those are only 3 of a multiplicity of superpowers that I talk about in the work that we do. And I really want to bring forward that what we're going to be creating in 2019 is called the Coaching Coven. And it's a really magical group where we're going to be diving deep into these superpowers and how to use these spells, how to use our words, especially as women. It's open to men as well, but especially as women and others, how to use our words to create our reality. We work with neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, and transformational dialogue to create our reality, aka spell casting in order to create our reality. Yes? So I hope that this today is supporting you in creating that holy yes, W-H-O-L-Y and H-O-L-Y space in your life. Because the number 1 protection spell that you can put on anything in your field is no. Either by physically saying no or by removing yourself from the fucking situation that you don't want to see more of. That's your responsibility. That's on you. That's on you. Yes? There was one more thing I wanted to cover. Let me feel into it. Well, I want to hear if you have any questions. Does anyone in the space have any questions that they would like to express here? Anything that's come forward about attention, intention, or imagination that's really true about your life. I really want to encourage you to start saying no to people. Right? My growth work, my challenge for you is to say no to the 3 next things that are not a holy yes for you. And I mean just slightly off, just as a practice, because we are so used to being nice. This world needs more people who are real. This world does not need any more nice people. There are too many nice people surrounding people who are saying yes to war. They're not holding them accountable. There are too many nice people around the sexual predators telling them that, oh, it's okay what you're doing. There's too many nice people around perpetrators. We need people who are fucking real with each other. So I want to hear below some examples of where you're actually saying no, where you're actually stepping forward and telling people no when their frequency is not what you want to create more of in your life. Who's up to that challenge? I'm up to it. I'm creating that in my life. Let me see your likes. Let me see where you're at. Are you going to create a space where the bullshit stops? That's my question to you. What's the bullshit that you're letting happen in your life? You're letting it happen. When you're listening to someone's bullshit, guess what? You're creating more of that in your life. You're creating more of that for the planet. You're creating more of that for my life. No, thank you. We need to start saying no to the bullshit. Heba's in for the challenge. I love it. Thank goodness. Next 3 things that you are able to step into and really say no. And you can say it as beautifully as you like. Hey, you know what? This isn't working for me right now. Hey, I actually need to use the restroom. Do you know what? I'm pulled away by something that's pulling my attention. Right? I'm more interested in this thing over here right now. Be fucking honest as you would like. And you could do it as nice as you would like. Let me rephrase. Do it kind. Don't be nice. Be kind. Right? There's a distinction I made in one of my posts on anger. Right? We need people who are kind, for sure. Be compassionate. But don't be fucking nice. Nice is that place where you let something continue that you really don't want to have continue. Melissa's in. Good job, Melissa. Ibrahim says, I say no to narc abuse. I'm not sure what that means, but fantastic, brother. I hope you say it to their face. It's one thing to put it here on Facebook. I want to be really clear. It's really easy to be on Facebook Live, but how is it in face-to-face? That's my real question. Anyone in my field that's in my life right now knows that I am fully committed to everything that I'm standing for right here. It is time for us to stand forward and say no to what we don't want to have more of continue on this planet. Yes? Do we have any questions? I want to hear if there are any questions, if there's anything coming forward for people, anything that feels like, you know what, Brianna, that feels like something that I can't even do. This isn't even fully possible. You're crazy for what you're saying. Look, all I'm telling you is that you have superpowers, and when you're using them to contribute your attention towards something you don't want to see more of, you're creating more of that. So it's time for you to take responsibility for this planet. Who's a leader on this planet? Can I get a hands up? Who's a leader? Anyone here a leader? Anyone here a leader? Yes? You're a leader? Cool. I'm glad you're a leader. If you're a leader, then that means that you need to be able to fucking say no. Because it's not so important. What we say yes to is such a small percentage of our reality when it's actually aligned. Okay, let me see what Molly's question is. So good. I have a question. If we are scared to truly step into our power and manifest our biggest dreams, how do we overcome and conquer that fear? Awesome, Molly. Great question. Well, number 1 is starting to name that you have it, right? And I love that you say that you have this fear. You're not afraid, right? You're not taking ownership that you are afraid. You have a fear. First thing is write that shit out. What are your dreams actually? Get really fucking specific. Number 1 is know what you want. Get so specific. Have the taste, have the flavors. Feel what you want fully. Right? What you really want to manifest, get it into your bones, girl. Number 1. Number 2, develop a practice that you're getting in relationship with your dream every day. Develop a practice where you're getting in relationship with your dream every day. Number 1, know what the fuck you want. Number 2, develop a relationship with it. Number 3, you ready? Get accountability. Hire a coach. Join a group. Get a friend who's willing to talk with you at least once a week about your fucking dream and the actions that you're committed to doing to making that happen. Accountability. And number 4, I've already kind of said it, is get into fucking action. You got to get into action. You cannot manifest. I love Abraham Hicks. Don't get me wrong. I love the power of attraction because it's a good part of the story, but it's not all of the story. If you are just sitting there wishing, hoping, praying, manifesting, becoming a vibrational frequency match for the thing, that's only half of it. The other half is you have to get into fucking action. You have to take committed, consistent, redundant, repetitive action towards your dreams, or it's not going to happen. So you got to write that shit down. You got to know what the fuck you want. Number 2, you got to be reminding yourself of that shit every day. Number 3, you got to get an accountability partner, get a coach, get a group. We're going to have the coaching coven starting in January. You're welcome to join us, Molly. That will be coming up more. I'll share more information about that. Stay tuned. And number 4, you got to be in committed action every day. If you actually want a dream to happen, you got to be in action. Wishing, hoping, and praying is only half of it. Yeah, you've got to become a vibrational match to it, but you've got to have the action that accompanies it. Yes? Does that make sense? Celeste says we must embody the vibration of what we desire. Yes, Celeste, exactly what I said. You can embody the vibration of what you desire, but that's only 50%. You can embody that shit all day, but if you're not in committed action, it actually doesn't matter how much of a vibrational match that you are. But the great thing is is that if you're in a vibrational match to what you want, you can't not act. Right? People are saying, I'm a vibrational match and it's still not happening. No, you're not. Because if you're a vibrational match, you can't help yourself but act towards your dream. I can't withhold my love for you right now. I can't. I can't not do Facebook Lives. I can't not show up for my transformational work. I can't not be working on myself. I right now am in an excellent program called ALA San Diego. You can check it out, alasandiego.com. I'll leave the website in the comments below as well. And it's an amazing transformational program. And you know why I joined it? Because I need to be on my fucking edge. I'm a coach. I'm a transformational leader. I'm a witch who serves badass magical leaders. And you know what? I need someone holding me accountable too. I have to be in committed action towards what I'm creating. I can't just talk the talk. I get to walk the walk as well, right? So if you want to be in the vibrational frequency of something, it means get in the fucking action of what you want to create. Hire someone. Go out and ask questions. Write your dream down. Find someone who's created your dream and ask them to be your mentor. That's what you get to do in order to create your dream. Are there any other questions? I would love to hear anyone else who's coming forward. It's so good to hear you, Celeste. I love seeing you, Amanda. Oh, your love is so sweet. Monica, it's good to see you here. Molly, so good that this resonated with you. She's been spot on. Thank you. I'm glad it's resonating. Sorry, my phone keeps falling. I'm going to keep it. Okay, let's see. Ibrahim has an answer. Our question, how do we stop distracting ourselves from ourselves when we are self-avoiding or dissociating? Oh, great. How do we stop distracting ourselves from ourselves? This is a good one. Okay, the number one way that we stop distracting ourselves is very third dimensional. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to hate it. It's called discipline. Dun, dun, dun. You schedule it in your fucking calendar. That's how you do it. You get a calendar, whether it's written out or in your calendar on your iPhone, and you hold yourself accountable to creating action every day that gets you out of distracting yourself. It's not a magical thing, but it's the most magical thing. You do it. And sometimes you need a coach. Sometimes you need someone who can help you break out of the limiting beliefs, the things that have held you back from actually disciplining yourself. I love the word discipline. So many people in the spiritual world get scared about discipline. But what it actually is what are you a disciple of? Are you a disciple of your limiting beliefs? Are you a disciple of the things that have been holding you back? Are you a disciple of your distractions? Or are you a disciple of your dream? Are you a disciple of what it is that you want to create? So you become a disciple and you get some discipline and you create what it is that you want by scheduling it in your fucking calendar. The only way something gets done on the level that we're talking about, the magical level, if you're a leader, right? This doesn't apply to people who don't want to be leaders. If you're not a leader, you should stop watching this video right now. This does not apply to you. I'm speaking to badass magical leaders only. So if that's not you, don't share this video. If you know badass magical leaders, share this video with them. If you want to create something in your life that is no longer avoiding or dissociating from what it is, you need to fucking schedule it. Yes? Said with love and so much magic. Great question, Ibrahim. Let's see. I have another question coming through. How do we stop from being self-avoidant? I mean, that's the same question, right, Ibrahim? It's about scheduling it in. It's an amazing technology. You have it on your phone or you buy a day planner from Office Depot or Staples and you schedule in the things that you've been self-avoiding. You give yourself a to-do by date and you actually fucking do it. And if you need to hire me or hire another coach, I have lots of friends who are coaches, to hold you fucking accountable so you're not self-avoiding anymore, I'd be more than willing to point you in the right direction. Because self-avoidance is so gnarly, right? Because we hide and so go ahead and read The Power of No, but that's not going to hold you accountable. Go ahead and get all the audio books that you want. Go ahead and do all of that. You still can fucking hide. When you have a soul coach, when you have someone holding you accountable, when you're in a program like ALA or like Landmark or MITT or any of the transformational programs and you play all in, you can't fucking hide anymore. Self-avoidance is hiding. How do you stop hiding? You come out of hiding. Hi, Kaizia. Am I loud? My nephew just woke up. In action, not inaction. 100%. Okay, well, I'm feeling really complete. Come here, baby. You want to come up here? You want to say hi? My nephew is here. Want to say hi to everybody? So thank you so much for showing up with us today. I'm here with my sisters, and we're grateful to have you here. I would love to hear more of your questions below. I would love to know more about how you personally use these 3 superpowers. I'm going to do another video on the 3 superpowers because that's so much more juice. Please share this video if it moved you. Please let me know if you have any other questions below, and I look forward to connecting with you in the Facebook land and beyond. I'm also going to be posting this on YouTube, so if you have people in the YouTube world, please share this with them. Please share this video if it moved you. Lots of love, blessings for you, your family, your tribe, all the people in your world, and may this radiate out to every sentient being on this planet and beyond without exceptions to heal all their hearts, open all their minds, and activate their soul purpose now. Blessings, and so it is.